When you need advice, come to Ben and Kelly. It's group therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Got this email. Hey, guys, I'm getting married in a few months, and my fiance and I are having an issue with a couple of members of our wedding party.
Okay.
We've got a bridesmaid and a groomsman who don't have their own transportation to our wedding, and one of which is struggling to pay for their wedding attire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my fiance and parents and I are going to be too busy carting decorations and prepping for the event to drive them to and from the wedding, but they're complaining that they won't have a way to get to our wedding otherwise. Busing is not an option. Our wedding is in a neighboring city, and they claim they can't afford an Uber or Lyft for that far. It's literally across the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
My mom thinks we should kick them out of the wedding party. And that if they don't find their own way to the wedding, then they just don't come. But my fiance and I are close to these people, and I don't know if I want to kick them out. My fiance feels the same way. However, we can't be expected to chauffeur them to and from our wedding. I feel like I'm caught between a rock and a hard place, and I don't want to ruin our friendship with our wedding party members, but we also can't be expected to cater to their needs for our day. Please help.
And there's no way to have someone drive them.
So I asked those questions, and she said catching a ride with the other members of the bridal party is out for distance and not enough room in the vehicle due to some kids. They both have been known to spend impulsively, and then they complain that they're broke is another tidbit that they followed up with and said they just both got better paying jobs. So maybe that might improve the situation in a couple months by the time the wedding is around.
I mean, I don't think I kicked them out of the wedding. That seems, or the wedding party, that seems a little extreme. But at the same time, I want to put it back on them and say, hey, we would really like for you to share in this moment with us. Hopefully you can find a way to,
that they can share a ride, and then knowing it's coming in a few months, that you can save for that.
Right. If the wedding's not this weekend,
right,
and it's not like you have to find some immediate cash, maybe you can figure out, okay, if the wedding's a month away, then I save up $60 or however much it's going to take to take an Uber or take a Lyft or take some sort of ride share across the bridge to your wedding.
That seems reasonable.
It does. I don't see. I wish we could talk.
The pushback is interesting.
I know. I wish we could talk to the members of the wedding party who are in this situation, because I feel like there is a solution here that people are just either not wanting to accept or just ignoring.
Well, I think the issue lies around this little backstory of they've both been known to spend impulsively and then complain they don't have any money. Like, if you go buy the newest iPhone or whatever and be like, oh, I'm so broke, I can't do anything.
Yeah, so the families may be a little upset that they recognize this, they see it, and they're like, okay, well.
They're not great with managing their money, and now when they are being asked to spend a little on their behalf, they're like, oh, I don't have it.
Right.
Like, well, you had it for other things, but this is apparently not a priority for them.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So that's tough. And it's, you can't really, that's one of those things that you can't call them out on. Like, well, you had enough money to go out to dinner here on this day or to buy that you just bought.
All right.
You can't really say that.
Would love to get some more of your feedback on this, especially if you've been in a situation with a wedding party that's been difficult. All right. We'll take some of your calls and suggestions, your stories on the way. Group therapy is one where Jessie is getting married in a few months. Now, specifically, Jessie's got some members of her wedding party who are saying it's too it's not affordable. Her wedding's not affordable. Specifically, the ride getting there.
Yeah, and the wedding attire. They'd also mentioned about that, too. Now, we kind of tossed out there, well, can they catch a ride with another member of the bridal party? Because there are several. Yeah. And that is not an option for several reasons. Some of them are coming from out of town. Others have kids. There's no room in their cars, stuff like that. So they did try to broach that subject. not going to happen. She did mention in a little bit of backstory that these two have been known to send impulsively, but then complain that they have no money.
So Amanda writes in and says, maybe have them stay with you the night before. Then they could help with everything that needs to be done. Not really certain of the financial situation, but maybe chip in a bit for their wedding attire. Most people, she continues, says, have been on hard times, never really get the chance to experience such an awesome event in someone's life. So I've been told multiple times I'd have been in weddings if I hadn't been, quote, struggling. But in the end, it's your day and only you can make that choice of what happens. I kind of like the idea of seeing if they can come the day before or help or whatever like that. I don't know.
Yeah, staying overnight so that you can just kind of be there and be helpers and then hitch a ride that way. Whitney says, I feel like they should have taken that into consideration when they were asked to be a part of the wedding party. If they can't get transportation there or afford the wedding attire, they should have just declined, being a part of the wedding party. That's on them. Fran is suggesting pay for the Uber. If they're your friends, I'd imagine it's important for them to be there. If not, ask someone else in your wedding party or another friend to give them a ride. Well, we've already covered that.
Yeah.
Not everyone has the same financial situation, but a lot of people are suggesting if it's that important to have them there, then pay for the Uber.
Yeah, I think maybe that's a good compromise, or at least say, I'll help you with it.
Yeah, split it with them.
Yeah.
Like if they split it 3 ways, because there's a bridesmaid and a groomsman that are struggling.
Uh-huh.
So split it between the 3 of you. You as the wedding couple and then, them, and maybe it's a little bit easier. And also, again, we were kind of talking about the fact this is still several months away. Can you not plan to set a little bit aside? Just to plan that, know that that's coming up. This is not like a last minute thing where they need to have the money right now.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, hey, good luck. I think there are some great suggestions here and great starting points or, at least some forward momentum with this.
Yeah, Chloe said if you really care and want them there, then you'll do what you can to have them there. I bought my maid of honors dress for my wedding because she couldn't afford one. It was worth every penny to have her stand beside me on my wedding day. Pick what you won't regret in 5 years.
Okay.
So that's a good one.
Yeah, that is good. All right. If you've got anything else you want to comment, you can see the post. We put it up on Facebook at Ben and Kelly Show. That is group therapy.